Hey guys, this is Al. I'm back at the shop and on the Cadillac, so not exactly sure what's going on with this car. It was run great for a while and then it just wouldn't start. Now today I came back to it because it wasn't running yesterday, or it wasn't running when I last left it. It died, and then I started screwing with the plug wires, getting firing order figured out, because I thought there was a problem with the firing order, but I created more problems than there were initially, let's say. Let me take the camera off and I'll show you what I did today. So the problem was, when I checked the firing order on the distributor, you know, I figured out that cylinder number 1 was here, and then, you know, I checked the firing order in the book, and well, first I checked the firing order online and it was incorrect, but then I found a book that I bought when I bought this car, and it gave me the right firing order, and then I reset everything the way it was, or the way I thought it was, and it was still not wanting to start. So I just called it a day and left, and I came back again today and I was messing with it, and then I realized that this is actually cylinder number 1 and not this one, so I screwed up there. And you know that because it says on the intake number 2, you can see this one clearly, it says number 6, number 8, number 7, number 5, right? So once I got that figured out, I put the sequence together in the firing order. I had to basically move these, you know, I'd crank it and then move everything one over until I got it working, and everything works the way it should. The car fired right up. I dialed in the carburetor with the vacuum gauge, and I think I got it where I need it, and then I replaced the plugs as well, and everything seems to run fine, right? You know, I was getting fuel initially when I took the line out. I wasn't getting fuel to the fuel pump, right, which is right down there. Wasn't sure exactly what was going on there. I added more gas and I blew the line out a little bit. Maybe there was sediment building up, and I think that helped solve the problem. And the car starts, you know, it starts and it runs real well. I had it idling for about half an hour. This is before I changed the plugs, but I think I need to check the timing, because what's going on is when I shut the car off after it's gotten hot, the engine would keep running, so it's dieseling, and that may be because the timing's too far advanced. It may be a problem with the carburetor. I mean, again, it was a cheap carburetor that I bought on Amazon, so there's no guarantees there. But yeah, that was the only last problem that I had. I'm gonna start the car up. You guys can hear it for yourself, and then you can let me know, and I'll shut it off, and maybe I can recreate this dieseling issue. It'll blow gas right out of the top of the carburetor. So not sure exactly. Maybe the float ball's stuck. I've got no idea. Really don't. But I figured that what I'll do first is get the timing light and check the timing. Now, of course, you know, half my tools are at the house, the other half are at the shop, and it seems like every single time I need a tool, it's not here. I gotta say, it took me about 20 minutes to replace all the plugs, which is fantastic. I was doing the same job on the Jaguar XJ12 yesterday. I got maybe 10 of the plugs out of the 12 in about 3.5 hours. So there's something to be said about having one of these cars. But right now, plugs are new, carburetor is new, cap rotor and coil are brand new. It fires up real nice when it's cold, but it needs a little bit of help when it's hot, and it'll want a diesel, and also when you try to restart it, it'll choke down, which makes me think that it's a timing issue, but I'll figure that out. Okay, so let me mount the camera back up, and then you guys can hear it. Alright, so another thing that I forgot to mention was that I did put a CO meter on the back. I have a CO meter, a little tailpipe analyzer that I used to use on my CIS cars, and I put that on. I'm getting 0.3% CO. I don't know if that's too lean or it's okay, but with the vacuum gauge, I got pretty much as close as I could to where it's a steady level. If I leaned it out more, it would basically produce less vacuum. Obviously, right now it's cold, so it's not making any dieseling sounds, and it started right up. And I need to check the RPM so that I can adjust the idle correctly, because I'm just playing it by ear. And my timing light, once I bring it over, has a rev counter built into it, so I can do that. What else? The choke temperature cable and the little rod, I'll probably need to replace those, because I'm not sure if it's working correctly. That's the other thing. But right now, I mean, it's still got a little bit of a lumpy idle, but I'm not sure if that's timing related. I'm not sure if it's carburetor adjustment related. There's two adjustments, one on each side, and it's finicky. But I'll get that figured out. It does run a hell of a lot better than it did before, and as long as it's not hot, it doesn't diesel and want to keep running on. I'm sure it's all related, but without the timing light, I'm pretty much where I need to be at this point, which is that it's running and it's behaving itself correctly. So that's pretty much where I am. At some other point, I'm going to start working back on the Rolls-Royce and Bentleys, but I need to get this thing to where I can drive it out of here and not worry about it breaking down, because it would just suck if I had to push this thing somewhere else. And I really do enjoy driving this. It is a great little car, like I said. It's fun to work on. It's cheap to buy parts for, and it probably gets more looks than any other car that I own. maybe with the exception of the Corniche. The Corniche is also a real eye catcher. But yeah, that's where we are right now. If you guys have any idea on how to set up a quadrajet properly, certainly let me know. You know, all that stuff is new to me. It's not a science that I understand. But you know, I've been working on Mercedes since I was, you know, in my early 30s. And Mercedes have had fuel injection since 1971. Actually, even before that with the mechanical fuel injection, but you know, they've always had fuel injection. Every Mercedes that I've owned has had fuel injection, so carburetors I don't really understand very well. So let me know. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.